Have you ever wondered what makes some Facebook groups hugely successful, super active, very engaged? It just has a different vibe, it just feels different. And then other groups just struggle, like it's just crickets, silence, or it just feels, I don't know, off. It has a weird vibe to it. How about groups that make money versus other groups that make no money? What is the difference? And more importantly, probably, where are you at on that spectrum? In today's video, we're going to talk about how you intentionally create this Facebook group that you want. That's what this is all about. How do you boost your group with 6 different strategies? Well, I don't know what is going on, but it's getting all wonky on me tech-wise, and I've only got 1 bar. So if I lose internet, I'm afraid that may be happening. Will you guys give me a comment? Just let me know. Can you hear me okay? Is it smooth on your end? I'm wondering if it's just wonky on my space. I'm looking at my internet and it's saying it's okay. But I've got a weird symbol inside of Facebook. So I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm going to let you guys tell me if we need to restart, we can. I'm not sure what's going on. But it's blurry. Okay, you can hear me, but it's blurry. All right, let me see. I don't have anything else open. I can hear me. I'm good. Okay. Well, I'm going to keep going. If it gets to be too bad, let me know and we will try something. I've only inside of StreamYard, I've only got 1 bar, but on my computer, I've got full bars. So I don't know what's going on. Oh, we're going to just keep going. We're going to keep going. Okay. So the question that I asked before the little intro is, where are you at on this range of having a group that's super active, super engaged, lots of activity, lots of going on, feels good, has a certain vibe, and then the ones that are just crickets, it's dead. And in that range, where do you fall? And it doesn't matter where you're falling right now, right? This is not a judgment space. This is about this is where is our starting point and what is our goal? What are we trying to achieve? So I would tell you the very first thing as we get into, talking more about these 6 secrets, knowing exactly what you're wanting to achieve is important. So if you haven't answered this question, this is one for you to give some thought. What does success in my group look like? What would make me feel like this is a successful group? What is that goal for you that you're aiming for? It's sort of like when you are going on vacation. You have to have a destination in mind, right? The difference between going on vacation and going to the mountains or the beach, going to the spa or going to the city, they have a different vibe and a different feel. But you know what you're getting when you go into it, right? Because you planned that video. You need to be planning what's going on in your Facebook group too. What is the vibe? What is the feel? What does success look like? So if you've not spent time on that, that is tip number 1 today. Make sure that you are doing it. But in general, the difference between, I'm looking at some of the comments and I'm seeing a lot of crickets, dead, a very few people comment. I'm not going to put them on screen because I don't want to call anybody out. Crickets, momentum has picked up in the last 2 weeks. That's super exciting to see. Oh, I love this. Dawn, I'm going to put this up. To have people excited to participate, and I know it starts with me. That's a goal. Yes, you're exactly right. Okay. The difference between the groups that are highly engaged and active and all of the things that you all want and the ones that are dead is strategy. It's not luck. It's not they just got lucky. That's not the answer. They didn't just get lucky. They are following a blueprint. They have some sort of strategy, whether they created it themselves or they got it from somebody else, they are following it. Yeah, I see that, Sandy. I don't know what it was because my internet hasn't changed, but StreamYard now is good. So I'm glad I'm no longer blurry. Okay, thanks, Andy. So when we talk about strategy, what does that mean? Sometimes that word strategy is a scary word. Think about it in terms of steps or gears. So there are, no mouse now. Let me get rid of that banner. Okay. You all have heard me tell this story. By the way, if you are new to me in my space, my name is Jamie Hain, and I had a very dead Facebook group not too long ago. And through a number of trial and error and figuring it out, I figured out these 6 success keys, these 6 strategies. And I want to talk about them. That's really the purpose of this video today. We're going to talk about all 6 of them. I want you to understand why you need them, what they are, so that you can implement them in your own Facebook group. Okay. Now, I want to just touch on one thing because this may be relevant. Some of you may be going, why is she talking about Facebook groups? She is a video coach. Yes, that is very true. But what has happened is that I went through a couple of periods of time over the last year where my audience, the people who I was spending time on talking about video, would book one-on-ones with me, and they didn't want help on video. They wanted help on Facebook group. Because I have done a tremendous job in my own group. And let me tell you, it's not luck, it's strategy, and it's a whole lot of work. But it pays off. And these are the 6 strategies that I figured out through that kind of trial and error process. The good news is you don't have to do trial and error. You can learn from the mistakes and the things that I have learned. That's really what today's video is all about. Okay. Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to just say this. We are going to talk about what these are and why they are, and a little bit of how, but how actually happens inside the Ignite Your Facebook Group program, which I am launching today with an early bird coupon code. So you can take everything that I'm going to share with you today, and you can run with it. And my hope is that you can take this and you're going to be like, I got this. I don't need Jamie. But if you do need help, I want you to know that there is a program here for you to join us. And we're going to go step by step through each and every one of these. Okay. We'll talk more about that at the end, but I just wanted to call that out because I am going to talk about it. And I don't want to ever hide anything from you guys or make you feel like you came in for one thing and it was something else. Okay. So we are going to talk about Ignite Your Facebook Group. But we are going to go through all 6 of these things. And I'm hoping that there is enough information here that you're going to be like, I get this. I can run and do this. Or maybe it'll incent you to be like, I need a little bit of help. Okay. So let's go through these 6 things. Think about it like gears in a machine. Okay. So if I am only focused on one of these gears, generally speaking, what I see is that people are focusing on content. I got to have the right content in my Facebook group. That is what's going to be the key to success. It's not one thing. What would happen if I just focused on content and inside of this image here, the only wheel that was turning was that content wheel? How fast is this machine going to move forward? If the only wheel spinning is the orange one, how fast is this whole thing going to hum up and buzz up and move forward and drive where I want it to go? What would you say? Is it going to move it at all? Very little. Very, very little. Yeah, Dawn's got it. We focus on content because we think that's the secret. It's not. You got to get all 6 of these turning, okay? So imagine if you had all 6 going. If you had a vision and you had growth and you have content and you've got a welcome strategy and you've got engagement going and you've got sales going and all 6 of these wheels are going, what's going to happen inside your group? That's when it's going to be ignited. That's when it's going to absolutely take off for you, right? Dawn says it's going to move very, very slowly. Michelle says barely move if you only have one. It's going to sound horrible too. As it's trying to move this monster of a machine forward with only one wheel. It's not going to happen. Okay. You got to get them all going. So we're going to go through these kind of one by one. And talk about what is inside of each one, or at least some things that I want you to think about inside of each one. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up each and every time, but I don't want to just stay on this screen because that's just boring. So we're going to go back and forth between them. Okay. So let's first start with vision, which is the pink wheel. Vision is your dream or your goal. It's important to clearly know what you want out of your Facebook group. What do you want it to be? How do you want it to feel? What is the vibe you want it to have? How do you want people to, like, after they participate, after they're on one of your lives, how do you want them to feel? Because when you know that, you can create that. You can drive that. But oftentimes we just jump right into dumping content in and we don't stop and think about what is our vision for where we want this group to go. Now, what's also important here inside of this vision one is what is in it for them. Okay, those of you that are in the Go Live lead, you hear me talk about WIFM and WIFT. WIFM is what's in it for me. WIIFM, what is in it for me? But more than that, WIFT is important. WIIFT, what's in it for them? Get clear on why they should be in your group. What are they going to get out of your group? What are they going to learn? What is the journey they're going to take with you? What result can they expect from you inside that group? Don't confuse that with what result do they get when they hire you? What do they get for free? Define that up front. Now, granted, it's not going to be the same transformation as when somebody works for you, but they should still get something. There should be some value, some benefit to them. So again, when you know what you want out of your group, and when you know what you want them to get, now you can be super focused and super intentional. You can now go after achieving that because it's clearly set out in front of you. That's what vision is all about. Okay. Now, once you have vision, now we move on to growth. That's the green one there. Think about it like this. Once you can clearly articulate what they're going to get out of your group, now you can start attracting people to that. People don't want to just join a group. Nobody sits there and says, oh, on a Friday night, you know what? I really want to join like 5 more groups. I should go find them. No one thinks that. We don't want more groups. We're already in too many as it is, probably way too many. This is a great reminder. Note to self, remove myself from groups I'm not active in. Okay. You want the thing that happens in that group. So when you can clearly message your perfect people and help them understand what they're going to get, they want that. That's how you grow your group. That's how you start anyway, is making sure that your clear message is right on point. Okay. When you can communicate that WIFT, if you will, it makes attracting them easier. All right. Now, as we sit here and talk about growth, we did a whole video on 5 ways to grow your group. So if you have not seen that video and you want me to send you the link to it, just in the comments, type the word growth. And I'll make sure that you get a copy of that or the link to it. I'll message you the link to it. I'm going to send an email out probably next week with all of the links from this whole series. But if you don't want to wait for that, type growth and I'll make sure that you get it. Okay. Now, once you have growth and you have people starting to come in and join your group, you've got to make sure that you can assess whether or not they're the right fit for your group. And this is always hard for people to get their head around, right? Because we think about it and we think, no, I just want more people. Well, if you get the wrong people in your group, that can be devastating. If you get people in that are not your perfect people, that have no interest in what you're talking about, that don't behave or participate in the way that you want, that can tank your whole group. You want to be able to assess whether or not they're right for you. They're right for this environment. They're exactly the person who might at some point be a client. They may not be ready right now, and that's okay, but they're ready at some point. So using your entry questions into your group needs to be strategic. Ask questions that actually help you assess whether or not they're a fit or not, and do not be afraid to decline people. I probably decline. I knew somebody once that she said she declines more than she accepts. And I was like, what? Oh. So one of the things that I've been talking about this in this series is in the last year, I have doubled the size of my group. And it has been slow but steady growth. But what I know is that each and every person that came in was the right person. And I know that because I declined a lot of people. And while you can look at that and say, oh, yeah, but Jamie, if you'd have accepted everybody that wanted to come into your group, you might be 3 times the size. Correct. But that 3 times the size of people who don't want what we're talking about in here, that's only going to hurt. That's only going to hurt. Okay. So be particular. Here's the thing. In the last year, when I've declined, I probably decline 20%, 25%. Nobody's ever called me out on it. Never once. Not once. In all that time, have I ever had somebody message me and go, hey, I tried to join your group and I didn't get in? Because they're not the right people. They're probably joining so many groups. All they're wanting to do is promote their stuff. They don't want to participate. They don't actually want to be in a group. They don't even know that they haven't been approved. It's not like they get a notification that says, Jamie Hain declined your entry into the group. They don't see that. They don't see that. Okay. So I want you to get confident and comfortable in knowing that it's okay to decline people that are not your right fit. Okay. I could go off on a tangent and talk about that, but I'm not, because then I'm going to get all crazy. Okay. I see some questions. Let me ask questions before we move on to the next one. Hang on here. Okay. Hold on here. Okay. Billy says, should you always have entry questions for a group? Okay. Let me think about that. Is there a reason why you wouldn't want entry questions? I can't think of one, Billy. You don't have to use all 3. You get 3 questions. You don't have to use all 3. If you can do it in one, do it. But make sure that the questions are going to get answers that are going to make you be able to assess that person who's asking to join and be like, yep, they're my person. Yep, they can come in. Yep, do it. Billy, we're going to talk a lot more about this inside of Ignite. Billy, are you? No, you haven't done. We can. I'm so sorry, Billy. I'm getting my things crossed. Billy's in Shine. Billy's not in Ignite. I'm so sorry, Billy. Oh my gosh, I feel horrible. So because of that, I'm gonna help you with this for free. So we will cover it on a call, you and I, and because I just made a huge blunder live on camera. So you get the benefit of that. But honestly, part of Ignite is I'm going to help you all write your questions so that it is strategic and intentional and you're getting all the right things that you want. Okay. Let me make sure I haven't missed anything. Sorry, Billy. Oh. Okay. Shake it off. This is a good live video lesson. Okay. We all make mistakes. We all go, oopsie, right? You just shake it off. You just shake it off and you say, I'm going to get a drink. And you take a breath and a drink. And you cool yourself down and you go, it's okay. Now let's move on. Okay. So back to our graphic here. So we've talked about vision. We've talked about growth. Now let's talk about the yellow one. Welcome strategy. Welcome strategy. Okay. Now that you have them into your group, I want you to think about it like they have joined your group. They've come to your house for a party and we ignore them. And we say, there's the group. Find your way around. Do they feel like this is a place they want to hang out? Do they feel welcome? Are they excited to be here? Do they want to participate? If that's the case? No. You've got to have a welcome strategy. And a welcome strategy is more than just the automated post that says, welcome to the group. That's not enough. That's not going to get it done. The people who have joined your group are the warmest leads you're going to have in your group. Potentially. You could argue that it's at a different point, but let's just say they're a very warm lead. In other words, something you did or said made them go, oh, yeah, I need that. I want that. I'm interested in that. I could learn something in here. Now they're like, woo, yes. And then we ignore them. You got to have a welcome strategy. And the whole point behind a welcome strategy is to make them feel welcome. Make them feel like, oh my gosh, I love this place. These are great people. These people are cool. I want to hang out here. What else is going on in here? It all goes back to that vision and what you are creating and what goal you want to set. How do you want people to feel? Okay. Welcome strategy can be a number of different things. And here's what's the cool part. I'm going to be the kind of coach that I'm not going to say you must do A, B, and C. I'm going to say you can do A, B, C, and D. You pick what feels right to you. What is going to help you enable the vision that you've created, that you've dreamt of for your Facebook group? But think of all of the different tools and things that are at your disposal that you can do to welcome people in. Remember, Facebook is an ecosystem. You want to do all of the parts and pieces, right? Maybe I do a video. Maybe I have a post. Maybe I reach out to them in the DMs. Maybe I send them an email. Maybe I have an email series, a sequence. Any and all of that can be part of your welcome strategy. The goal is to make sure that you don't make them drink through a fire hose. It is not everything in one post. Nobody's going to read all that. It's the journey that you take them on, and it all starts from the very beginning. Think about it like this. If you're wanting people to be engaging and commenting and posting, then you want to make sure they know from the beginning that they can do that in the group. You want to encourage them. You want to create those behaviors, because then they'll do it again and again and again and again. It's the equivalent of if you do a fun post and then you don't comment on anybody's comments, are they going to comment again? Maybe, maybe not. But if you do it repeatedly, they're going to be like, why is she even asking me? It doesn't even go anywhere. She doesn't even say anything. They're not going to feel very welcome. So it's all intertwined in here. Okay. Let me see if there's any questions on welcome before we move on to the next one. Okay. You know what? In the last call, we were playing with lighting glare, and I was so dim, and now I'm like squinting to see stuff because I can't see what's going on. Okay. Okay, so Dawn says, I've not been very welcoming. I give them the auto post, but nothing more. Yeah. So we gotta amp that up a little bit, Dawn. We gotta put a little bit more into that. Okay, I'm in a group that makes graphic designs for every new person that joins. Oh my gosh. See? Imagine this. Imagine the last time you started a new job and you started brand new job in there, and all of a sudden somebody gives you a welcome to the company and you get a t-shirt and a coffee mug. You feel like, oh my gosh, this is so great. This is what makes you feel welcome. This is exactly the stuff we're talking about. Yes, love it. Okay, let's move on to content. Oh boy. All right. So again, if you're a visual person, content is the orange button or the orange wheel down here. The most important thing that I can say here with content is you want to give them something to engage on. But if everything you're doing in your group is all engagement stuff, that's going to have a very different vibe than a group that is all talk or all promo posts or all whatever. Hopefully you're reading in between the lines here and you're getting that it's about having variety. It's about mixing up the different things that you do. It's about balancing between creating engagement and setting yourself up as an authority. Okay, what can happen is if you create all of this great engagement questions, posts, and things that they can comment on, but you're not showing up, then you might have a highly engaged group that doesn't buy anything. Okay. If you go the route of I'm not giving any engagement posts and all you do is talk at your people and you never ask and you never involve them and they aren't participating, now what are you going to have? That doesn't mean you're not going to sell something, but if they're not highly engaged, if they don't feel welcome and participative and want to be there, are they going to come back? Probably not. So it's a balancing act of both. The other thing that I will say about content is that when you start with focusing on your sales funnel, and I'm not talking about tech just enables your sales funnel. But what is the journey that you take people on from meeting you for the first time into buying? That is a journey that you take people on. You'll hear people talk about nurturing your people. You're nurturing them on this journey and path. It's a funnel that starts big and narrows down as you get people closer and closer to buying. That doesn't mean you're ignoring everybody else. It's like keeping all of the balls spinning at once. Each different piece of content is designed to do a different thing. But when you know what your goal, what your end goal is, when you know what you're promoting, which gets into a totally different gear here, a different wheel, it makes your content easier because it's all connected. I think so often, some of you did the workshop where we talked about social media content, and there were a lot of ahas that happened out of that, because I think sometimes we just focus on, we're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and we're seeing what sticks, and we think, ooh, that worked. Ooh, that worked. Instead, I want you to be strategic. I want you to have a plan. Why are you doing this post? How is this post leading that person on a journey? How are they improving? What are they getting? What are they learning? That is what has to happen first before you just start creating graphics in Canva. Okay. You also have to have variety in your content. This is the best example I can give you. Well, actually, let me talk about this first. When you forgot that we were on content here. When you put live video at the center of your content plan, and that is what I would recommend that you do. Doesn't have to be a lot. 1 video a week. Doesn't even have to be long. 5 or 10 minutes once a week. Live video is going to be the most engaged piece of content you're going to have in that group. It's going to get the most amount of comments. It's going to be seen as the most valuable because your audience is going to learn something. They're going to get something out of it. An aha, maybe a how-to. When you put that on your content plan first, and then every other post that you do supports that, drives people to that, follows up afterwards, drives people back to it, now you have a magical combination inside your content plan. But here's what I want to say. What I often will get questions on is somebody will say, okay, Jamie, but if live video gets that much engagement, I'm just going to go live every day. Okay, so I want you to imagine that. If I went live every day in this group, could you even possibly get all of that? Could you show up every single time? Wouldn't you get to a point where you'd be like, oh my gosh, enough. I can't keep up. I'm so behind. I mean, Jamie's going live every single day, 7 days a week. I think I'm 3 weeks behind. It's too much. And not everybody likes live video. Okay. The other example I can say is, what if color blocks are hot? A color block post is where it's like, let me show you. I was going to screen share, but I think this is just going to be faster, and I'm trying to watch my time here. This is scheduled for an hour, by the way, for those of you that, in case you didn't know. Okay, that's a color block post. Color block question. Let me see if I can find another one here. Color block post. Those are both longer ones, but sometimes they are shorter ones. Like, of course, I'm scrolling and can't find one right now. Color block post. Okay. Color block posts are hot. They get a lot of engagement, especially if you do fun questions in there. But you got to balance it all. Okay. I can sit here and say, if I ask a question like, do you like brownies with or without frosting? I did that last week. It got a ton of comments, right? Lots of engagement. And I could look at that and say, ooh, lots of engagement. I want to do more of those. But if this group was just me asking color block post every day, whether or not you like tacos or burritos, how does that make me an authority? How does that help my audience? It doesn't. It's just fun. There's nothing wrong with fun. There needs to be a balance. Okay. So even if I look at color block posts and I say, okay, color block posts are hot, so every day I'm going to have a color block post. It's overwhelming. It's too much. You got to mix up your content. You got to have a content strategy plan so that you're talking about different things in different ways, all focused on the same thing every week. That is what this content wheel is all about. Okay. I see questions coming in. So let me see if I got any. Hold on here. Okay. Stephanie wants to know which group was doing the free graphic design because she wants to join that group. Me too. Let me know too. I love it. Oh, fun. Okay. Oh, you guys are sharing all sorts of cool stuff about groups. I love it. I will come back, I promise, and comment on every single thing that you share. Okay. Dawn says, yeah, too many lives would wear me out. Too many of anything would wear me out. Okay. And so, oh, you guys are so great. You'd watch all 7. I don't know, Dawn. I once did a every day before Christmas live, and it nearly killed me. I do not recommend going live every day, by the way. You burn yourself out and you're going to burn them out too. It's just too much. Be more intentional. Spread your content out. Okay. Christy says, do color blocks need to match your brand color? Nope, they don't. Because here's what happens. I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but sometimes, like right now, I can do pink ones. But like a week from now, I won't have the pink choice. So if you have a favorite color block, don't get too attached to it because Facebook sometimes removes them away. There is something to having the same color block every time, because then people start to associate, oh, it's a pink one. Is that Jamie or is it not Jamie? Okay. Okay. Let's see here. No more questions. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Let me see if there's anything else I missed on content. Hold on here. Okay, I don't know if I talked about this or not, but I'm going to say this. If your group right now is filled with daily themed posts, and by that I mean Motivation Monday, Tip Tuesday, Welcome Wednesday, Thursday Think, Friday Fun, that was very popular a while ago. But it's not going to work for you long term, because if you are stuck on those same ones over and over and over again, you just need a refresh. It's also way too focused on engagement and not enough focused on giving and sharing and helping people with their journey. Okay. So that may be a great thing for you to look at, is how do I change them up, spice them up, and do some things different. Okay. Okay. I want to touch on live video for a second. No, I already covered that. Never mind. I got all discombobulated when I messed up earlier with Billy, and now I'm just like way off on my notes. So I covered everything I needed to on that. Any questions on content? Let me know. Let's move on. Oh, for the love of, let's move on. Let's talk about engagement. Okay. So engagement is the purple one. It's the purple wheel here. We did a whole video on engagement 2 weeks ago. If you want the engagement video, type the word engagement and I'll make sure that you get a copy of it. I gave you 5 different ways to make sure that you were getting people to engage inside your Facebook group. Here is the most, like if I were to pinpoint it and say the most important lesson that I can give you inside of that is that you drive it. You are driving that engagement. So if you are saying, I'm posting and nobody's commenting, I'm going live and nobody's commenting, you are likely doing those things and you are telling and not asking. Ask more questions and see if that doesn't turn your engagement around. Okay. So engage means questions. It means you want them to share. You're inviting them in. You got to be intentional and strategic about it, but occasionally have some fun. You want to really pump up some engagement in your group? Ask a question like, do you like tacos or burritos? Don't do it every day, but a little bit of that fun goes a really long ways. Okay. So let's talk about the last one here, sales. Okay. For those of you that need a visual, it's the blue one. Here's what I want to make sure that I articulate clearly. Let's go through the whole map here, a little bit of a review. When you know where you're going, when you know what's in it for them, you now can attract more people. There are a number of different ways that you can grow your group. That's a whole separate video if you want it. I'll share it. But let's just work with me here and say you've now got people coming into your group regularly. You got to assess that fit, make sure they're the right people that you want in your community. And you got to welcome them properly. Now they feel welcome and they're like, oh my gosh, this is a great space. How did I not know about this before? That's when they want to start inviting their friends because this is so awesome. I want to be here. Now you're giving them awesome content that balances between asking and telling and engagement and you being an authority, and they're blown away because you are taking them on a journey. You are moving them through a process. They're learning, they're getting better at whatever it is that you are awesome at. But you're leaving some out. You're leaving some left over, right? I say all the time, people do not pay for information. The information is, they can find it. You can find it on YouTube. You can Google it. You can find the answer. Now, oftentimes you go Google and it's confusing. It's a mess. And you're like, who do I listen to? They pay for you. They pay for you to help them implement it. They pay for you to help them with the how. They pay to go faster. They pay for organization. They don't pay for information. Okay. But you've got to have the sales part of your Facebook group humming. Meaning, what am I doing all of this for if it's not to work with people in a closer way? And there's a lot of people, honestly, I'll say I find that mostly it's women who think, oh, sales, that's sleazy and slimy. People don't want me to be selling in my group. Okay, you're all in my group. I sell in my group. Does it feel sleazy and slimy? No. I'm giving tremendous value, and you will be too in your groups. When you give that much value, you've earned the right to help them go further, to help them go faster. All you're simply doing is inviting them to consider something. I'm inviting you to consider joining my program. The choice is on them. But if you don't offer that, they won't buy. They can't read your mind. They don't know what you have. Remember, this is a person who's in multiple groups. They might be in 300 groups. They don't remember. You got to regularly be talking about your offers. You have to have a plan. What am I promoting this month? At a bare minimum, what am I promoting this month? If you can get to what am I promoting this week or what am I promoting today, awesome. But know that your content and your engagement is all going to, you're trying to make money. Because if you don't make money, this group's going to go away. And nobody wants that. Not if you put all this time and energy and effort into it, right? So make sure that you are presenting an irresistible offer. How do I go faster? How do I get more? How is this going to help me? With an awesome price that people are going to be like, this is a no-brainer. I'm signing up. Not everybody's going to buy your offer. Not everybody's going to buy your program. I must just say it. Because as soon as I realized that, I went, oh, that's right. They're not all going to buy. But the right people are going to buy. When it's right for them, when it speaks to them, they will buy. And you have to promote it over and over and over again. But all of this comes into play in having a strategy of how all these parts and pieces fit together. So I'm hoping that what you're figuring out is why all 6 of these things are connected. You have to do all of them, because if you miss 1 or 2 or 3, then the gears don't turn right. And not only do these gears not turn right, they won't turn right in your members' brain. All of the things have to connect. I have to feel like this is what I want. I understand what I'm going to get in this group. I have to feel like, oh my gosh, look at all these new people joining. That's new people for me to connect with. Oh my gosh, I feel so welcome. Like, this is my place. I want to be here. I want to hang out here. Oh my gosh, this content is fantastic. I feel like I contribute. I learn things. I'm making progress here. Engagement, I have to feel connected to the person. I have to see that they are an expert, that they can help me, and they make me feel good about myself. They pump me up. They fire me up. If you're getting all of those things turning, that's when people buy, because they feel connected to you. Okay? It's never just one piece of content that sells. If you are doing all these great things in your group and you do one promo post a month, that's why you're not selling anything. It's not enough. You got to do all of the things. You got to talk about your offers. Think about it like this. If you found something awesome, I'm going to give you a real example. Okay. I absolutely love, let me pull this off. I love glitter pens. I mean, you know, I love Post-it notes, but I really like glitter pens. Okay. And there are multiple, let me see here. Do I have multiples in here? Yeah, I got one more. Hold on here. These are all different kinds. Oh, that's not one. I thought I had, okay. These are different glitter pens. Yes? This one's my favorite. So if I said to you, oh my gosh, I just found these awesome pens. In fact, I believe Stephanie Lee sent me these pens. You all need to go buy these. These are freaking amazing. These are the best. Like, if you like glitter pens, 5 stars here. Go buy this pen. We do that with life, with friends, with family. We tell people the things that we find that are like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. But we don't do it with our own products. We don't do it with our own services. That's the shift you've got to make from a sales perspective. You've got to love your stuff so that you are screaming it from the rooftops. You all, I have this awesome program. Come and join. Here's the results you're going to get. Here's what you can expect. It's phenomenal. Come, join, do it. Just like you would with a fancy glitter pen. That's how you need to feel about your offers. And if you can make your people feel like that about your offers, that's when they buy, because they want the result. Okay. Lots of questions coming in. Let's take a moment and look. Okay. Let's see if I missed anything. Hold on. I'm backing up. Okay. So back to the color thing. I was told by a coach to match your brand, and I get bored with that. I'm changing it up. Okay. Let me just say this. Okay. You ask 10 people, they're going to give you 10 different answers on anything, even if it's this color block post. The most important question to ask somebody who's telling you that is, why? Why? Why do I need to do this? How is that going to help me? And how is not doing it that way going to hurt me? There are a lot of people, unfortunately, who are like, do what I do and it'll work for you. No, you've got to figure out what works for you. Because I'm sure you have all experienced this. If somebody told you to do something, and you're like, well, okay, she said to do it, I'm going to do it. And you're sitting there and you're like, this is horrible. I don't want to do this. And there's a difference between, I don't want to do this because I don't know what I'm doing yet. And I don't want to do this because this feels wrong inside my body. You get to decide. You get to decide. Take all of that advice in. It's all input. And then you make the decision what works for you. Test it out. See what works for your people. That's what's so fun about being an entrepreneur. If you want somebody to tell you exactly what to do, then you need a job. You don't need your own business. You don't need to be an entrepreneur. You need a boss. We don't want a boss. That's why we're doing this. So embrace it and make your own decisions. Okay. If you need input, I get that. I'm off on a tangent once again, so I'm going to rein it in. Okay. You do what you want. Do what feels good, Dawn. If you like to mix it up because you like the flavor of that, do it. Do it. Okay. I want all the things. I love it. All right, Billy, it's been amazing. Even with my flub up earlier, I'm so glad. I love you too. Okay. Okay, you guys are saying no sleazy in here. Yes, glitter pens rock. I love all of this. Yes, yes, yes. No boss. No bosses. Okay. Oh, you got this is right. This I'm glad you guys are liking it. Yeah, your audience is different because you're different. Every single person who is watching this. I think that at one point there were 15 of you in here live. There's going to be a bunch more people that'll watch it afterwards. Each and every one of you is different. What works for one won't work for the other. But if you can look at all of the different options and you can figure out what works for you, that's the magic. That's the magic. Okay. What questions do you have on all 6 of these little guys? I will happily take questions if we've got them. But I do want to spend a minute or two on and talk a little bit about my invitation to all of you. So if you are sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, this is so great. I've learned so much value. I understand how I need all of the wheels going. And if you have enough information right now to just go. I want you to go step by step. Don't try to tackle all of them at once. You'll overwhelm yourself and you'll probably overwhelm your people. Pick one, focus on it. I would tell you to go in order. Start with the vision, then go into growing, and then so on and so forth. Okay. But if you are sitting there going, I want this and I want this now, and I need help. I need to understand how to do it. I need to get help implementing it. I want examples and templates, and I want somebody to walk me through all 6 of these strategies step by step. That is what Ignite Your Facebook group is all about. That's what we're doing. We spend 12 weeks. We're starting the 2nd week in March, and we're going to go through this bit by bit by bit. We're not only going to talk about these 6 strategies, we are going to go in detail, right? So when you think about, I'm going to my welcome questions, we're going to work on your welcome questions. We're going to spend a whole session working on your welcome questions or your entry questions. Then we're going to work on your welcome strategy. We're going to do a whole session on your welcome strategy. Then we're going to work on your content. We're going to probably spend multiple sessions on your content because we're going to figure out your funnel inside your Facebook group. We're going to figure out what your offer is and what you are selling, and then how to position it and how to get all of your content right. We're even going to talk about how to a little crash course on how to be awesome live, how to do live videos. It won't replace those of you that are in the Go Live League. It's not going to replace all of that, but it's going to give you a good start. How do you show up live and how do you get that going? All of this is included inside of Ignite Your Facebook group. Okay, remember me talking about like be so excited you're like ready to scream from the rooftops? That's how I feel about this program. I've done this once before. Got great feedback, great results. I'm so proud of the people that went through it. I'm even more excited about this one. It's longer. There's more in it. And I don't know if you ever feel this way, but do you ever feel like you're just buzzing? Like you could just literally almost feel the energy and you get a little, the hair stands up on your arms. That is how excited I am about this program because I know the result that it's going to get for you. I know the result it's going to get for you. It is going to turn your group around. It's going to be transformational, not only your group, but for your business. Yes, I started as a video coach and all we did was video. But what I find as I work with people just on their video is that it's really hard to get traction on video if you don't have these other pieces. If you haven't figured out your messaging, if you haven't figured out how to use your Facebook group, if you haven't figured out your sales funnel, the videos may be better, but they don't quite get you to the point where you're getting the results that you want. And so this inside of Ignite, we are combining all of it. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I can't even stand it. Okay. So how much does it cost? What are the details? Where do I get more information? It is a 12-week group coaching course. We're gonna meet every single week for 12 weeks. It is $697, but I'm doing an early bird special through Monday. So the code is up above. Here, I can put it up on the screen here too, I think. Did I do a thing on that? Maybe I didn't. Hold on. There it is. Early bird 100 takes $100 off through Monday. And you get $100 off whether you pay in full or you do the payment plan. It's a 4-payment plan option. So you get the $100 either way, whichever way you want to do that. Okay. So I would love to have you join us in Ignite. I think we've got 5 people in already. So if it's something you're interested in, if you want to come join us, if you want to take your group from where it's at now to what we've been talking about here today, this would be perfect for you. If you have questions about whether or not it's right for you, you're not quite sure, reach out, send me a message, ask. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Okay, let me see. There's some questions coming in. So let me make sure I haven't missed any questions. Okay, let's see here. Okay, where can I watch this again? Do you put it in the guides? This video, I'm assuming it's this video. So yes, there is a guide in the group. I think it says training. I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. I'll come back and comment and make sure that you see this. But whoever this is, I'll send you the link as well. Also, if you're on my email list, every Saturday, I send out a recap of anything that went on in the group from a video perspective. So every Saturday morning, you get the rewind fast forward report that has links to everything from the past week. So if you're not on my mailing list and you want to be, let me know and I'll put you in there. Yes, Christy's in. Woo, so exciting. Okay. Let me just wrap us up here because we have been long. Oh, this is a long one for me. What I'm hoping today is that you got inspired by this notion of these 6 strategies. And like I said earlier, I hope that you can take this video and run with it and be like, I'm golden. If you need help, if you need a blueprint to success, if you need guide through the steps, that's what Ignite Your Facebook Group is all about. Either way, whether you join us for Ignite this time or if this is just not the right time and you want to join us the next time around, that's cool. What I want to make sure that you get is that you can turn around your group. You can transform your group into exactly what you want it to be. You just have to know what that is. You just have to have a plan. And I've done this for my clients. It's now your turn. You just have to be ready to take action. You have to be ready to make some changes. You have to be ready to try some things because you've got to figure out what works for you. We've talked about that a couple of times today, right? But here's what I know. I know it's possible because a year and a half ago, my group, the Get on Camera group, dead. And now it is double and a half the size and my revenue is 4x. My engagement is now regularly around 2,000%. It is possible. It is possible. And if you need some help, that's why I'm here. I hope you got value out of today. I sure have enjoyed it. And I hope to, one more thing. I can't forget. Next Thursday, we are going to do a session just like this. It'll be back to the normal shorter time. We're going to talk about whether or not you can turn around a dead group. Whether or not it's possible to turn around a dead group. So be sure you join us next Thursday, same time, same place. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your leap year day, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.